Tonight is the longest night of the year. Kia ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks for joining us for our Wednesday update for June the 21st. The winter solstice, it is overnight tonight in New Zealand, 2:57 in the morning across mainland New Zealand, or 12:57 if you're along the eastern side of Australia, and 10:57 tonight Wednesday over in Perth on the western side. It's an exact moment in time. So when that happens, basically after that moment, very, very slowly the days start to get longer again, but you won't notice that for about another month. Around about the end of July is usually when you first start to notice that. We've got more details on our website. Let's have a look at the animated wind map. So here we go, low pressure in the Tasman moving into the North Island, some windy nor'easters coming through, big high pressure out to the east, and another low over here moving into South Australia with Adelaide having a bit of a windy cold front moving in for you. So we've got a bit of rain on the way as we've been talking about. Here is the latest update. Now this is for the next 72 hours, but it's from Thursday morning, from 9 o'clock in the morning. So it covers Thursday, Friday, and across Saturday into Sunday morning. Heaviest falls over here in the east. Now some areas around Gisborne could be seeing over 125 millimetres, and there's still more rain coming through next week as well. So a significant rain event for the eastern North Island, unfortunately, because we've already had that this year. One positive, hopefully, it's spread out a bit, and also some areas like Northern Hawke's Bay won't be seeing as much rain as those further to the south. You can go to our website, see your local rainfall totals, it's a lot clearer. But this northeastern side, also of the South Island, the northeastern side getting a bit more rain, with some heavy falls here getting up to maybe 60, 70 millimetres around Marlborough and further down and towards the very north of Canterbury, and dry at the bottom of the country. If you want dry weather, head down to Southland. Over in Australia, now this is not overly dramatic, but I just wanted to point something out. So you can see the cold front moving through here, but see the rainfall through the desert. Not very much, 5 to 10, maybe 15 millimetres. Well, that is 600 to 800% of the normal rainfall that falls in this part of Australia at this time of the year. So yes, only a few showers, but that's about 800% of what they would normally see. So some very wet weather, if you like, through those inland areas, but the bulk of the rain, and mostly around Adelaide and Hobart. Let's have a look at the forecast for Thursday. So in comes that low for the North Island. Unsettled, windy weather. Nor'easters are going to get up to 40, 50 k's an hour. Gale force is around about 63. So we'll be seeing a few gusts to gale force in exposed areas. Bit of rain coming in as well. Rainfall wise, as you just saw, most of it's falling around Bay of Plenty out towards East Cape over the next couple of days. Driest and coldest weather down here in the south. May even be still some frosty weather. And in comes that cold front for Adelaide with a burst of rain and wind, but drier elsewhere. By Friday, quite a lot of low pressure now south of Australia, with southerlies for Western Australia and westerlies over here on the eastern side. For the New Zealand area, low pressure as well. A series of lows, quite normal to actually get a series of lows like that in a line. What's not normal, obviously, the amount of rain we're seeing in some parts of New Zealand at the moment, along with the warmth coming out of the subtropics. And that encourages even more rain. So plenty of wet weather lining up for the northeastern corner of New Zealand. Elsewhere though, it does start to dry out. And this weekend, it's kind of the same. On Saturday, the low has moved even further to the east. It's weakened even more. But look at that airflow. It is coming out, like here's Rarotonga and the Cook Islands. This airflow is coming from the Cook Islands. So it's not freezing cold as it comes into these eastern areas with rain as well, as you can see here. Next cold front also coming in around Adelaide on Saturday, and a pretty unsettled day for really the entire southern coastline, as far north as Perth and as far east as Sydney, caught up in that unsettled area of low pressure and cooler weather and gale force winds as well. But it doesn't really reach New Zealand. It sort of falls out apart halfway into the Tasman, but it does still connect up with this big area of low pressure. And on the other side, here's a big area of high pressure. So it's kind of a balancing act, but we're on the messier side at the moment, unfortunately, because New Zealanders are very much sick of the rain at the moment. We're seeing a lot of it. Monday next week, there is a change. It's a westerly change for some, southerly for others in the south, but more of a westerly change for the North Island. That's exactly what you want in those eastern areas to get rid of that rain, have some dry weather return. We could do with a month worth of windy westerlies actually. And in Australia, speaking of windy westerlies, gale force winds coming up through here. Very windy all the way up to Brisbane on Monday, and unsettled over in Perth as well. So El Nino, it's not showing up just yet. That's all from me. We'll see you again tomorrow with our next update.